Welcome back to the Football Heritage. We are back again with another weekend review. We had a lot of games this gone weekend, and Liverpool defeated Arsenal in a battle for top position in the English Premier League, and Real Madrid won for the third time in a row. Barcelona drew away in the Spanish La Liga. So today the first game we'll be looking at is the Chelsea game. Chelsea, they won 2 goals to 0 at Stamford Bridge, but there were a lot of controversy in that game, and the VAR decisions went Chelsea way in that game. They won 2 goals to 0. They now sit second place, 7 points from three in the Premier League table. So, what's your take on that game?
Well, I want to say good afternoon, good evening, um, good morning to the football world, wherever you're watching from. We want to bring our sincere greeting to you and appreciate each and every one of you that have been following the football heritage. It's a pleasure being here tonight again to give our analysis on this current week feature. So to the Chelsea then Fulham game specifically, um, I was really disappointed by the referee and the entire VAR um, staff. There was two major, you know, point that caused Fulham to lose the game. They scored a goal that was disallowed by the VAR. Um, there's no way that can be your fault, you know. But again, sometimes VAR decision go in favor of one side, and this happened to be Chelsea this time around. Even the penalty, the second goal Chelsea scored, there was huge um, issue with that penalty. But this is the decision of the referee. This is the decision of the VAR, and it went um, in favor of Chelsea, and they claimed the 3 points. But to the game, there was a moment that Fulham felt that they could go for it, and they decided to do that. They scored a beautiful goal that was disallowed by VAR. Um, that was really disappointing. That's a turning point in the game for me because if Fulham were getting that goal, I know Chelsea are going to pull a fight, try to get a goal as well, but that was a turning point for from the Fulham perspective. So Chelsea try on the other hand. Um, they fought hard. They got a fresh goal through uh, Pedro in the dying minute of the first side, which was really good for them. Coming back and then fight again, try harder not to concede a goal. So they was really solid in midfield. From the Chelsea standpoint, they were very solid in midfield and defense as well. But for me, they won the game. They got a 3 point, but I think Fulham deserve a point from that game, from the fight they pull up and all those controversial movement again. I went in favor of Chelsea, so they won again. Chelsea, that's what mattered to them. They wanted to win, but they has some bit of luck by VR decision going in their favor, which make them to claim 3 points. But uh, other than that, the game was kind of it was done one side again, like Chelsea dominating it through all the match. It wasn't like that. Um, Fulham pulled out a show, they pulled out a fight, but it just didn't go their way. But it was a beautiful game that we saw between Fulham and Chelsea.
Yeah, thank you for that. The game, it was actually because it was a London derby, and we all know most of the time when it is a derby, the game can be competitive. The referee play a huge part in the game. Because if even look at the goal that were ruled up by the VAR for Fulham, at that stage it was nil-nil. The guy didn't go with the intention of firing him, firing the Chelsea defender. And a lot of games, situation like that, the referee will always allow play to continue. And he disallowed the goal. Chelsea scored from the corner. They gave the 7 minute stoppage time that was given in the first half. The stoppage time was over. And I have seen a lot of games, a team with a corner kick, but as soon as the stoppage time is finished, the referee don't even allow the other team to take their corner. So why he allowed play until Chelsea scored the first goal from Joao Pedro. And Fulham, they were very, very competitive, particularly Lukic and Sander Berge in the middle of the park. And Rodrigo Muniz was stretching his Chelsea defense, making sure to put the Chelsea defense under pressure alongside Ellis Iwobi and Timothy Castagna. Those guys, they were very, very impressive. And Calvin Bassey at the back, he was also tremendous in that game. But Chelsea, looking at Delap, he went off early on in the game. And Pedro, I think Pedro, he will be one of the best signing for them this season because he is scoring goals for them. And the second goal, it was also a controversial decision. Because if you look at the build up to the goal, Joao Pedro controlled the ball with a hand. And after that, Chelsea player kicked the ball on the arm of the Fulham defender. It's a penalty. But Joao Pedro played handball. That was the first one that occurred before the Fulham handball. So while the referee didn't look at that first decision, the Joao Pedro handball, so to allow that penalty, and even that penalty you will see this season, a lot of teams will have similar penalty, but the referee VAR will rule it out. They will never give the decision. So to me, the entire VAR stuff is not helping. I mean, if there's no VAR, we will accept controversial decision because there's no VAR, because they brought in VAR to be close to perfection, but it is far from that. So I think they should just get rid of the entire VAR. And Chelsea scored a penalty from Enzo Fernandez and they won 2-0. So that was a big win for Chelsea. So we move on to the next game. Manchester United won unconvincingly against Burnley at Old Trafford, 3-2. Burnley came from behind twice, and in the injury time, Manchester United scored with a Bruno Fernandes penalty. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that was a very open game as well. Manchester United couldn't lose that game. They went in with one intention, just to win. Um, despite the multiple goals scored by both teams, 5 goals in the entire game. But I do, appreciate the personality of the Manchester United team. They fought hard. They scored a goal that would equalize, and then they scored another goal. It was also equalized, and then they kept on pushing, and then finally they got the winning goal through their captain from the penalty spot. But the character exhibited in that game by the Manchester United team was very encouraging. Um, in such a moment, a lot of teams, you see them break down, scoring goals. You score the equalize, you score the equalize, but they kept on pushing until they got um, the third goal. There was no change. to equalize that, and it was a good moment for them because they really needed this. From the start of the season, you lost your first game, and then you draw the game, Fulham, and then they couldn't afford to lose or drop any points in that third game. Um, so I believe it gave them some level of confidence going into the international break. It was really really good for them to win. They needed to do that. Um, so we saw it. We saw the team performing. They kept on pushing. They kept on fighting. They never gave up until they found a whistle, and that's a good, you know starting point for Manchester United. The only problem with the Manchester United team, and that need to be addressed, is the the goalkeeper, the goalkeeping aspect. They concede so easily. Some goals that Manchester United concede since the start of the season, from the two goalkeeper they got currently is unacceptable. But again, we have seen player drop form. Onana used to be a very good goalkeeper, but I don't know, since he came to Manchester United, um, he haven't put up that performer yet. So now he got to drop to the bench, and then the new goalkeeper, same whole thing. So I just don't understand what the coach is doing about it, because you cannot go through the season like that. You cannot go through, I mean, the entire season with a struggling goalkeeper, somebody who cannot really stand to make the kind of save that we're talking about. From the Burnley's perspective, they also fight. They had a good fighting spirit in the game. You know, equalizing twice, coming from behind. 2 times equalizing, and then you lost the game in the dying minute. So that was also good fighting spirit from that standpoint. But I think going forward, Manchester United need to take care of the goalkeeper. I don't know, the transfer window. Um, I don't know they make a last signing, because I know that they were trying to pursue to get a new. They're pursuing another goalkeeper to get somebody new that will take over, because it's a serious problem from the Manchester United team. Unfortunately for them, they lost one of their new signing to injury. We don't know how long he's going to be out for, but he's a very outstanding player for Manchester United. They can't afford to lose him at the early stage of the season. So it was a vital 3 points for Manchester United. Disregard of the score, the 3 points was kind of matter. It will bring them some level of confidence going to the international break, maybe coming back. Um, they can be able to read, organize themselves defensively and the midfield and offensively. But it was a very good encounter, seeing so many goals in the game, and Manchester United took it 3 points at the end of the match. Also, a very good 3 points for Manchester United.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, indeed, the 3 points were important that day because the way they lost against Arsenal and the way they drew against Fulham, they shouldn't have lost that game against Arsenal, and they shouldn't have drawn that game against Fulham. And against Burnley, poor finishing made the game difficult for Manchester United because after Man United scored a header that came back and hit the defender, that the Burnley defender for the ball to go in the back of the net, it was an own goal. But from there, Man United had a lot of chances. Amad Diallo was played clean through by Brian Bomo. He had the entire goal to just shoot, just hit the ball on target and score. He shoot wide. The same as Joshua Zexi. He had a glorious opportunity to score. He didn't score. So we didn't take our chances in the first half. Man United should have been at least 3 goals ahead in the first half. And when you are playing against any opposition in the Premier League, it is the Premier League. It doesn't matter the name of the team. The Premier League, if you don't take your chances, it may come back to bite you. And that's what happened. We made the game difficult for ourselves. As long as our team is down 1-0, they still stand a chance to nick a point or get all 3 points. And we didn't take our chances. So Burnley, they came back in the game. And as soon as they equalized to make it 1-1, Manchester United replied immediately in a minute time to make it 2-1. Brian Bomo scoring a first Premier League goal for Manchester United. And Burnley, it was still one goal different at 2-1. Burnley scored another goal, make it 2-0. From there, they were just hanging on for a point. That would have been great for them, a newly promoted team, to get a point at Old Trafford. It would have been great, but in a down minute, a penalty from Bruno Fernandes won the game for Manchester United. But Man United play like, if you look at the goalkeeping situation for the past few games they played this season, the both goalkeepers, looking at Andre Onana and Bayindi, the both of them are terrible. But United, they signed a 23-year-old Belgian goalkeeper today. I don't know how good he is. He's young. It's a gamble because the choice was between him and the Aston Villa goalkeeper Martinez. But Martinez is 32 and they decided to go with the 23-year-old Belgian goalkeeper. So even though it's a
Uh,
gamble,
let me just come in a little bit. Yeah, when you said that it's a gamble, I do believe what you said because looking at the Aston Villa goalkeeper Martinez, he's so good. This guy have been in the Premier League for so long. He got so many experience, and with the current situation of Manchester United, you don't need somebody that will come and start from scratch. All right. But again, it is the decision of the board. But it was going to be better to go for Martinez, despite his age. Martinez still got like 4, 5 good seasons to play in the back of the Premier League. This guy is so good. We have seen him so many times, both club and on his national team. He been so outstanding. I was really, really surprised to see Manchester United not sitting that deal. And I was just looking at my phone. They went for a younger goalkeeper, but again, it's just the decision of the board. Maybe we could be wrong. This kid can come in and showcase the talent and try to be outstanding for Man United, but we are going for Martinez.
yeah, that decision, they made that decision. But as I said, it is a gamble. You don't know whether the gamble going to pay off or not. But I hope it works, because if it doesn't work, they're going to create another problem. Martinez, he has the experience and he was willing to join. This is why he was not in the Aston Villa team yesterday. But they decided to go a younger goalkeeper. But I think even it, even he's not a world class, or he's not a decent goalkeeper, I don't think he will be as terrible as Andre Onana and Bayern D, because this is the reason why Eric Ten Hag, he put Manchester United in a very bad situation than any other previous coaches. This guy gave away David De Gea and Henderson from Crystal Palace. Henderson came from the academy through the rank and found Manchester United academy. Gave him away, gave David De Gea away for Onana and Bayindi, and signed Anthony for £85 million, and signed Mason Mount, that we didn't need Mason Mount at that time. So, and he went to Bayer Leverkusen, refused to come and get Anthony and Onana. If they were good enough for Man U, they should be world class for Bayer Leverkusen. But after 2 games, Bayer Leverkusen sacked him yesterday, and that curse will follow him for damaging Manchester United. And now we move on to the next game. Real Madrid, they won their third consecutive game in La Liga, that take them to 9 points from 3 games on Saturday. And they went behind to Real Mallorca, but they scored 2 goals to win the game 2-1 with Vinicius Junior scoring the winner. What's your take on the game?
Yeah, Real Madrid. We have said this. We have seen it. So many occasions. We saw it in the in during the preseason, not preseason, but the Club World Cup. It was outstanding. Um, Again, it's a transitional period for Xavi Alonso. This guy came in, and then he tried to fix the defense of Real Madrid, and we have seen it from the start of the season. They conceded their first goal of the season against Mallorca yesterday. They went down 1-0, and then they managed to win again 2-1. And then there was some disallowed goal. VAR overturned a couple of goals for Real Madrid. We said this. We will continue to say it. We have said it before that scoring goals for Real Madrid right now is not really the problem. The problem the current manager try to fix is um, the defense, the midfield, and uh, thank God this guy is a very good defensive minded manager. He used to be a defensive midfielder, holding midfielder, and he tried to push that forward by telling the players what to do. And the major work of a defense is not conceding goals, you know, and they have shown that in a first couple of games. You know, last season Madrid were playing, conceding goals left and right all along, all through the season. From the start of this season, that's why the team that played against, you know, they could play against a lesser side team last season. They just conceding goal. The team that was carrying Madrid through that make them to enter second place because they were outscoring most of the games that they were conceding. So he tried to fix that, and we saw it. We saw Kylian Mbappe. He didn't score yesterday. A couple of goals have been disallowed for him, but this guy is on fire, and the attacking force is good. I think Vinicius Junior is finding his footing right now. He came off the bench their second game and assists and scored, and he also scored yesterday. That's a good, good work for him. I do believe he's going to improve. He's a great player. He's just having a bye time. He dropped the phone a little bit, but it's possible that he can pick up and be more than before because he's a very young player. Um, the current Madrid squad, they start on a very good note from the start of this season. Um, Winning 3 out of 3, that's a good start. They're now going for international break. Let's see what's going to happen when they come back. But I think Real Madrid is making significant progress in terms of making that defense very solid. And I'm not surprised by that because the current manager is a defensive minded manager. So he's going to use every weapons that he got to strengthen the defense of Real Madrid, and we already seen that. From the Mallorca standpoint, they started again on a bad note, sitting deep and allow Madrid to keep them in their half, keep poaching, and then they got their first goal. They got their goal from the set piece. Sometimes smaller teams, I don't know what it's good to do that, but sometimes you got to go on the offensive, and it was a good team from them because if you were allowed to play, Madrid with the free flowing football, they're going to punish you because you don't have the caliber of players that are going to cause so many damage for them, are going to stop them from going at you when you decide to open up the game. So it was not a bad idea, but and you doing that, you also got to go on a break, and they was not really doing that until when they got that corner kick and it resorted to go. But a very good game from the Real Madrid standpoint. A vital 3 points was collected. 3 out of 3, 9 out of 3. That's a very good start for them. So I want to give this to the current managers. I think it's too early to praise or to say what he's doing, but he's on the right footing. Going 3 games and conceding 1 goal, that's not a bad result. You know, it's never a bad result as compared to where it was last season. So very good game from this Real Madrid standpoint.
Yeah, that was a very good game because the most important thing, they got the 3 points and they went behind early in the game, and Xavi Alonso didn't panic from the bench. And what he's doing, if you look at what he is doing, two young players that he has introduced in the lineup, they are consistent in the lineup since the beginning of the season. The young Argentine Franco Mastatuno and the Turkish international Ada Güler. Güler, he will be a decent player. He's very young, so playing so many games and gaining experience as he age, he's gonna be one of the best players for Real Madrid in the near future. He has the talent, the same as Franco. Franco, he's a genius, and giving the confidence to those kids to go express themselves on the pitch, I think this is a good step in the right direction Xavi Alonso is taking. And their back line look comfortable. Real Madrid back line is comfortable. They are not leaking goals the last season. If you look at Militao, he's back from injury because he was out for so long, but he looked confident in that game. And Dane Hudson too, he has already taken the place of Rudiger. So Rudiger is already on the bench for D. Hudson, who signed from Bournemouth last this going transfer window. And Alvaro Fernandez, this he has also improved the defense from Benfica. And this kid, I don't know why Manchester United refused to take him back, but he would have been a better option on that left side for Man United, because Man United had a first option to buy for less money because he was on loan for it. Then Man United sold him to Benfica plus about 20% sell on clause and first refusal. That is, we have to refuse first before they sell him to any club. But I don't know why we didn't take the chance on him. We are lying to join Real Madrid. And he has also been a good addition to the squad. He was tremendous in that game yesterday. And the form of Kylian Mbappe, he's on fire. Madrid has so many goals, about 3 goals disallowed by VAR. And Vinny Jr., he was awful the entire last season. And the first game, he came from the bench. On Saturday, he started and he scored a wonderful goal to give Madrid all 3 points. So Xabi Alonso is working in the right direction. He is. He is a defensive coach. So I don't expect Real Madrid to concede a lot of goals this season like they did last season. So kudos to Xabi Alonso. Three games, 9 points, 100% record. That is a good thing, especially having lost La Liga last season to fierce rival Barcelona. Madrid, they want to win by all costs. And Xavi Alonso, he was a player at Real Madrid, and he knows this than any other person in that dressing room. That if he doesn't win La Liga or the Champions League, he will be out. He knows that. Nobody need to tell him at Real Madrid, they don't give you time. Though they are now in stages, stage 1, stage 2. No time. They don't give you time like Arsenal, where you have first stage, second stage. Ateta 1 billion, 0 trophy. No time. Xabi Alonso knows this, so he has to win. And to win, defensively, you got to be solid. Because you will not score three, four,
When
five
when you
goals.
keep when you keep setting the example on Arsenal, they're gonna come at you though.
No, but that's the only football club I know. Arsenal is the perfect example. Not even Crystal Palace can do what Arsenal is doing with Ateta. There is no way Arsenal gonna win with that guy. So that's the reason why I usually say example with Arsenal. So that's a good thing because Alonso, he knows very well that Real Madrid, if you don't win La Liga or Champions League, you gone. Real Madrid, they have sacked managers that won and they still sack them. Fabio Capello was sacked after winning La Liga in 2007. Say he was not playing good football. He was sacked for winning. So Madrid don't joke. So we move on to Sunday. The first game on Sunday, Manchester City, they lost 2 goals to 1 at Brighton. Pep Guardiola spent a lot of money from January up to present, spent over 400 million pounds. A lot of players have come in, but yet they took the lead and they lost to Brighton. What's your take on that game?
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see Man City um, wrapping all 3 points again after losing to Tottenham Spurs. They took the lead, you know, through their goal getter Haaland. And they was on a good footing. They started on a very good note, controlling the game, causing so many problems for Brighton. And then in the second half, when Brighton made a couple of changes and the whole game turned around. I just don't know what is going on with Pep Guardiola's side right now because um, we know this Man City when they're in control of the game, they always punish you. But Brighton raised again a little bit in the second half, more especially when they make the two substitution. It changed the dimension of the game. They started pushing Man City so hard. They got the equalizer and they managed to get the second goal. It could have been worse for Man City. They could have, conceding up to 3 goals. But um, I just don't know the standard of Man City right now from last season to present. It there's nothing much that have been changed. We did mention about some of the guys who was aging, and then this game he decided to keep some guys on the bench, especially from the defense. He kept Ruben Diaz on the bench and brought in new players, and um, it was something new that he thought could have put out a very good result for him, but it also didn't work. Rodrigue started, Bernardo Silva started, so I just can't understand why is it that this guy, um, continued investing. He brought in so many new players from January and the summer signing. He brought a lot of new players on the team, tried to strengthen because people talk about the team aging. So from at that moment, I just think that this guy will not. He cannot continue with the Man City team. They gave him all the options. They gave him all the weapons. They tried to support him because he had done so many good things for Man City. So they still believe he can um, bounce back and do those things that he used to do. But I haven't seen a record. This guy don't have a track record of when the thing is falling apart and then he can rebuild the team. I think this is a perfect example. We have seen it. We saw it with Barcelona. He left Barcelona. We saw it with Bayern Munich. He left Bayern Munich. Now it is Man City. So we're watching to see if he's going to turn things around for Man City because things are not really good for Man City from last season to present. We thought they could have been so solid and um, dangerous this season. But again, I think it's still early. It's just 3 games so far in the season. We just got to wait a little bit to see from now to the ending of the first field in the season. Let's see how he's going to be. Let's see where Man City going to be at. But it's just a terrible movement for Man City right now. It started last season and it continued. 3 games, you lost two. That's a terrible start. From the Brighton perspective, they went down, but they didn't panic. They kept on pushing. They kept on fighting, and it pays off for them in the second half, more especially when the coach brought in two new players. They managed to equalize and got the winning goal. A very good 3 points for Brighton. So Man City now, they're in a very bad situation. I hope Pep Guardiola will do something about that to try to fix what really going on in Man City. You muted. You muted. You muted.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, as you said, City, Pep Guardiola, he doesn't have that record. He doesn't have that record like to rebuild a football team. He has never done it before, and I don't think he's going to do it. He has never ever built any team. If you look at Pep Guardiola track record, everywhere he went, when he went to Barcelona, Barcelona had almost all the best players in their position. If you look at Puyol, Danny Alves, Thierry Henry, Samuel Eto'o, Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, those were some of the best players in world football. He left after a few seasons. He went to Bayern Munich. They had Ian Robin, Frank Ribery, all those guys, a lot of good players. He won. And before he got there, Bayern Munich, they have already won the treble, the German Cup, the German Bundesliga, and the
Hi, folks. We're so sorry. I think there's a technical issue there with our main host, Musa
yeah, yeah,
Kone.
I'm back.
Okay, he's back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. So there is no way that Pep Guardiola will be able to rebuild that team. He should just walk away. He shouldn't have signed a new contract. Guardiola not supposed to sign a new contract. He should have left. He won enough at Man City. He is the greatest manager in the history of Manchester City. He should have left. But he decided to stay. And on the game, the first 60 minutes of that game, Man City, they were the best team. They controlled the tempo of the game. They dictated the play in the middle of the park. Bernardo Silva, Rodri, they were having a wonderful game alongside Tijani Renders. They controlled the game. Those three guys in the middle. And Erling Haaland scored. We all expect him to score because this guy, he's a good goal scorer. But then when Brighton made that full substitution, they brought on veteran like James Milner. When they brought Milner on, the entire play changed. Brighton, they began to dominate the game. They were having more possession. Then they had a penalty which Jim Milner converted to make it 1-1. Then late in the game, they scored to make it 2-1. Pep Guardiola had no answer. And if you look at the Manchester City defense, Matthew Nunes, number 2, when this guy was playing for Wolves, he was a midfielder. He is not a defender. But because he is not good enough to play in the middle of the park, this is the reason why Pep Guardiola usually plays him in a 2 position. But he's not on number 2. So this is why he usually get exposed all the time. All the time they gotta get exposed in a position. And Nuri was also getting exposed by Yakuba Mente, the Gambian international. Yakuba Mente was a major problem for Nuri. He was getting battered in a position on Sunday. And the entire defense, both wing, the left side and the right side, they were getting destroyed in the game. The middle, if you look at the kid that he started with alongside Johnston, Abdulkadir Kusanov. Kusanov is just a young player, and I don't think he has that mental strength and even physical strength for the Premier League for now. Later on, Pep Guardiola brought on Jeremy Doku, Ruben Diaz, Rico Lewis. Ruben Diaz, he has passed his prime. He has declined. He has fallen off the cliff. So he is not good enough. And when you look at Rico Lewis, he's an average footballer, not good enough. Nico O'Reilly, not good enough. So every substitution he made, they are not good enough as compared to the previous City team. Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku. This is a guy with zero end product. He doesn't give assists. He doesn't score. This is his third season. This guy, he has scored only 6 goals in the Premier League. And since Riyad Mahrez and Raheem Sterling left that team, they were playing on both wings. They left and Raheem Sterling on the left, Riyad Mahrez on the right. They were scoring over 10 goals a season. Mahrez will get over 10 goals in the Premier League season. Raheem Sterling will get over 10 goals in a Premier League season. But he has never and ever replaced the goals from Sterling and Riyad Mahrez. Savino, last season, 1 goal in the Premier League. How is that going to replace Raheem Sterling goals when the guy
Is
scored?
he still on Man City? I thought he went alone.
He stayed there. The guy only scored 1 goal. Jeremy Doku, 2 seasons, 6 goals. So every season, 3 goals. While Riyad Mahrez are getting 10 to 15 goals. So this is the problem. And Guardiola, he has never ever rebuilt a team. So he should just walk away. He should walk away. People already discover his way of playing. People know how to get at him. And he has lost 2 games from his first 3 games. And nothing happening. The mainstream media, it's not a big story. They don't even discuss it. Whether Manchester City, what the way forward. How is Guardiola featured? Is he among the coaches that will be fired? No, he's not. But when Manchester United draw or lose a game, the entire media, they pull it on their head. Is the topic. Everyone will discuss it for the following until the next week. If this was Manchester United, they would have been discussing it until after the international break. But it's Man City, they're not going to talk about it. So Pep has to leave. So we move on to the game of the weekend. Liverpool against Arsenal. This game, it was poor in quality. And at the end of the day, in the 82nd minute, a one goal from Dominic Soboslai settled the game 1-0 in favor of Liverpool. What's your take on it?
Yeah. First of all, I do agree. There was some poor quality in the first, but more especially the first half. We have the two side giving the ball away easily. The final third was poor from the Liverpool midfielder Verd, McAllister. Those guys was couldn't really connect. And then the same with Arsenal. But I think what I observed from the entire game, Arsenal started again on a very scary note. They decided to go on the defensive. They really wanted, from the way they played, they really wanted to settle for a draw. Just wait for a set piece and see if they can get a goal to win it. But from the way they was playing, it just showed to me that they were settling for a draw. But from the Liverpool standpoint, there's one thing that we need to understand of on about Slot. This guy, he knows how to manage a game. I have seen it. Um, I have seen it the first game against Bournemouth. I saw it the second game against Newcastle. This coach really know how to manage. And what he did against Arsenal, I know people will be saying that there was so many poor performance from the first half. and then the second half they step up their game. That could have been his game plan. You know, this could have been his game plan. You saw it when they came in the second half. There was different Liverpool that we saw in the first half. You know, there was none in possessing ball too much because Arsenal wanted to sit deep. That's the reason why they started with three defensive midfielder. They wanted to let Liverpool to control the game and then try to catch it on the break or try to go for set piece and all this stuff. But Liverpool didn't go for that. They didn't buy it. They didn't just sit and just control the game through all. They decided to play the same way Arsenal was playing and wait for that moment. They had a couple of moments that was done well taken when Arsenal defense gave the ball away. Van Dijk won the ball deep in the half of Arsenal, and then he tried to play the ball on the side. It didn't go through. So there were a couple of moments that Liverpool didn't take. You know, they didn't take a chance of those chances that they had. They didn't take it, but they decide to control the game in the way that Arsenal they will feed that Arsenal make Arsenal to feel that they can come and get the ball. They're not interested in winning ball possession and all this stuff. That's this kind of style they was playing. You know, they play like that, and then it was really good for them. They had a very good movement in the game when they took that free kick, and it was perfectly taken by Soboslai. This is the miracle movement. This is the magical movement, and you need special player to take the kind of chances and convert it to goal. It was also good game from the Liverpool standpoint. We all know that they conceded in so many games. They have first two games they conceded two goals in each of those games, but they managed to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal. This is the Arsenal that we know they cannot take a five to six corner kick without scoring. And Liverpool conceded so many corner kicks against them, and they defended against Arsenal very well. So there should be a plus given to us to Liverpool. I know a lot of people will say I've seen a lot of pundits online, try to criticize again, but this is how to win as a champion. You don't have to play beautiful football all the time to get the 3 points, especially the opponent you're playing. They decide to come defensively, so you got to bring out a tight to break them down, and that's what the Liverpool manager did, and he did that perfectly. So it was a very good game from the Liverpool standpoint. They got that 3 points. They got a 100% record, 3 out of 3, 9 out of 3, which is really good for them. Let us not forget your main rival, Liverpool main rival this season is going to be Arsenal. With the kind of squad they got right now, the kind of new players they brought in, it's going to be really, really a tough between Liverpool and Arsenal. So going against them, bring out a strategy that you're going to get your 3 points. You don't have to play beautiful football. We know they can do it when they're going against other clubs. So it was a perfect strategy from the coach, and I think they executed that very well. And kudos to Liverpool for taking all 3 points at Anfield again.
Yeah, thank you very much for that analysis. Yeah, the most important thing was the 3 points because we all saw the first game, Arsenal first game at Old Trafford against Man United. They sat deep into the half. They did absolutely nothing. They were given a goal by the Man United goalkeeper Bayern D, and they celebrated that they have won the Premier League. So Liverpool got all 3 points, and that's the most important thing. But both teams, especially Arsenal, this is why I always say Mikel Arteta, with he in charge of Arsenal, Arsenal will not win a Premier League title or the Champions League because away from home, most of the time, against any decent opposition, he set his team up not to lose. He doesn't go away to win. If you look at the way Arsenal play big game, he set up his team not to lose, and that's terrible. Sometimes if you go away, you see the way the opposition team playing, and sometimes they are there for the taking. You go after them, you take all 3 points, you go back home. But every game, there are games you can go the first 30 minutes you try to defend. Then after that, you attack. But Mikel, this is the reason why Arsenal, they have now won at Anfield since 2012. And in Mikel Arteta, in a whole coaching career, he has now won at the Etihad Stadium against Man City. Despite Man City form in recent time, he has now won there because he set up away from home against any decent team not to lose. And this is how he went to Anfield, not to lose. Looking at Liverpool, they didn't start the season well. So as a coach, Mikel Arteta, he should have gone for the victory. That would have given him the boost to win the Premier League this season. But he decided to sit back. Sit back when we are the back four, all those guys, they are central defender. Their natural position as central defense. Juri Timber was a central defender on Ajax. He and Lisandro Martinez were playing together 4 and 5. Calafiori is a central defender, but Mikel Arteta can use him number 3. And you look at the two center back, Gabriel and Saliba. Saliba got injured in the first 4 minutes, brought Maresca on, and he did extremely well. But let's go to the midfield. They had Mikel Merino, Martin Zubimendi, and Declan Rice. All 3 of them are defensive-minded players because he set up just to cancel Liverpool. Defensive-minded players. And up front, they had nothing going up front. Martinelli, he's done. He's a terrible footballer. This guy, he only bend his head down and run with the ball like a headless chicken. He's a terrible footballer. Arsenal should have gotten rid of him this transfer window, but they didn't. And that position, that left side position, is a problem for Arsenal. They don't have enough quality in that position. Trossard, not good enough. Martinelli is not good enough. And let's go to that striker. Victor Gyökeres. 0. Everything was 0 for him. 0 shot, 0 take on, 0 dribble. Everything was 0. We agree. Like, he didn't receive service. But this guy, game, he always needs space to run behind the defense. So the midfielder and the wide player, they have to find him. But he get no assist, nothing. And it's going to be very difficult for Gyökeres this season. Because away in the Premier League, this is how Mikel Arteta can set up. So usually, he may score most of his goals against smaller opposition like he did in the Portuguese league. The team below 6th place, there where he scored most of his goals against. And Noni Madueke, I saw a lot of Arsenal fans praising Noni Madueke. He had an average game. Go and watch that game over. Every cross he attempted, Keke's block it. He either go for throw or corner. He didn't put in a single cross. Every cross he attempted was blocked by Kekes. So to me, Kekes had a brilliant game because you, as a defender, you have to stop the cross from going in. And Kekes did perfectly. Arsenal had only 1 shot on target yesterday. They did absolutely nothing up front. Defensively, they were solid. But if they continue to play like that, there is no way on earth that Mikel Arteta will win the Premier League or the Champions League. And they spent a lot of money this season. They bought 8 players. And he bought another defender. This guy loves defender. Mikel Arteta loves defender. He bought another defender today. 8 players. He has spent over £1 billion now. 0 trophy to show. Since he started spending money, he has won 0 trophy. And this is why Arsenal, this can only happen at Arsenal. They are now into phase 6 or 7. They have so many phases with 0 trophy to show for. To Liverpool, they did extremely well defensively. Van Dijk was a rock. I think he was the best player on the pitch. He commanded his defense well. Ibrahima Konate was solid because Arsenal has so many corners in the game because this is how Arsenal play big game. They always depend on corner key and other set pieces. But Konate is a big, strong guy, the same as Virgil van Dijk. So they deal with every corner that went their way. So Arsenal couldn't score from the corner yesterday because of Konate and Virgil van Dijk. The entire Liverpool defense, they kept the Arsenal foul line quiet. And even though the Liverpool foul going onto their foul line to Arsenal nullified Liverpool attack, Mo Salah was quiet. I thought the coach who was substituted him before 15 minutes in the game, but he stayed on. He was quiet, the same as Hugo Ekitike. He did absolutely nothing. And the entire front line, Cody Gakpo, he was anonymous. He went missing yesterday. But Sobosla, defensive midfielder, sometimes he attack. He played the attacking midfield role, playing as a number 2, shut down Martinelli. So he did extremely well, and he scored a worthy to get all 3 points, and Liverpool deserve it. They deserve the victory. So we will now move on to the last game. Barcelona they drew 1-1 against Rayo Vallecano, and that means they now have 7 points from that 3 game, and the penalty Barcelona was a controversial penalty. What's your take on the game?
Yeah, the Barcelona game, it was a shocking performance from Barcelona. They gave them a very soft penalty. Lamine Yamal tried to take on 2 players, and then the last player he went in contact with, you know, he went into the ground, and the referee didn't hesitate, and it didn't go to VAR for review. That was a disappointing part. Um, but they complained that the pitch was terrible. But this is European footballs. You got to expect it. You go to smaller side, you should expect whole lot of challenges. There should be so many things that you experience. Um, those are not excuses. You should be able to manage to win. Difficult to win on a difficult pitch, difficult condition as a big team. They struggled through all that game. Um, the inexperience of those players of Vallecano, they couldn't convert to get the second goal, but they had so many chances that they could have won the match. It was not the best performance from Barcelona, but they managed to get a draw. They managed to get a point from that game, which are important for them. They could have lost the 3 points, but again, they fought hard. They defended somehow. They managed to concede 1 goal on it. But I think it was a well-deserved point for Vallecano. They could have won. They could have won the 3 points. They kept on pushing. They was really solid. They never just sat there. And then a couple of moments they really exposed the hard line of Barcelona defense. They'll keep playing the ball behind them, and they got caught up so many times, but their finishing was just poor. And then they managed to get 1 goal, but this is a warning to Barcelona. Defensively this season, is going to cause them so many problems. Any game that they go to and they fail to outscore to score more than 1 goal is going to cause them serious problem. We have seen it. We saw it yesterday. I hope the coach can look at it and take note of it. I know he was unhappy with his player, but it was a terrible, terrible performance from the Barcelona standpoint. With the level of quality players they got in attack, and then you know they also had some opportunity that they could convert, but then they blew it out. So I think it was a well deserved point from Rio Vallecano. Draw is a fair result for that game, but Barcelona defense were really really exposed. the high line, and this coach continued to use the high line. He continued to believe in it. He managed to win the league last season, but many a time, this season they're going to get caught. We saw it against a lesser side that don't have too many, attacking threat, you know. But again, that's his belief. He believed in that, and it paid out for him last season, in La Liga, because he got caught up in the Champions League. If he continue to do that this season, people studying it, they getting to know how to beat those systems to go behind them and get a goal. So hopefully he can resolve that problem. But if he continue to do that, I think it's going to be a serious problem because they was really exposed against Vallecano yesterday.
Yeah, Barcelona. Actually, they should have lost that game yesterday because, first of all, Rayo they had so many chances. A lot of time they beat Barcelona also trap. They had so many chances to score in that game. They didn't utilize their chances. And the penalty for Barcelona, that should have never and ever been a penalty, not in a million years. That was never a foul. And they said the VAR went off during that time, so they couldn't review it. So that was shocking. I have never and ever heard that before, that the VAR went off for certain minutes. It didn't go off until Barcelona had a penalty. So there was no way for them to review the decision. But it was a shocking decision from the referee. Barcelona took the lead. But Rayo, they play high intensity. They were running everyone was running. Nobody stopped running on their team. And eventually they equalized from Perez. From Perez came from the bench to make it 1-all. And Barcelona, they made a lot of substitution. Raul Lewandowski, I don't know why he is not starting game this season. Came from the bench. Marcus Rashford came on for Rafinha, but Rayo defended well, and they nullify Robert Lewandowski and Marcus Rashford. Barcelona, their defense is not good enough. They have to work harder. That defense may get exposed this season, both in the La Liga and in the Champions League. The center back, Christensen and Eric Garcia, they are not top center back. They are not good enough to be playing for Barcelona. They are not. They are not quality defender. They're not good enough to be playing for that Barcelona team. And Barcelona, I don't know why, over 2 decades, they always overlook their defense. They don't really strengthen their defense. From time immemorial, Barcelona defense always struggle. Even you go to the time Messi, Samuel Eto'o, Thierry Henry, Rivado, all those guys on the team, they always get defensive issues. I don't know why, and they fail to address it. But this season, they're going to struggle. They will struggle this season because last year was what his name? The coach was his first season in La Liga, and a lot of coaches didn't really work on discovering his tactics, La Haaland. But a lot of coaches have studied La Haaland during the summer time, and they are working on it. They have so many surprises for La Haaland this season. Sometimes you have to change your way of playing, especially in certain game. But every game Barcelona played, that's how they play Haaland, and they may get exposed this season. So it was a great result for Rayo Vallecano. All square, Barcelona 7 point and 2 point behind Real Madrid. So before we go, let me just ask you this, Alexander. Today the transfer window closed. And the major transfer for today was Alexander Isak joining Liverpool for 130 million pound. What's your take on that transfer?
Yeah, I think we talk about this, and it's a it is a good addition to the Liverpool squad. We saw couple of games. Ikiteki, he's a very good young and talented striker, but sometimes experience comes in, and this guy, he's a very good finisher. You know, he got the Premier League experience, and then not taking into consideration his desire to play for this Liverpool. I do believe there were so many options for him that he could have, go to other clubs or stay at Newcastle, but he chooses to stay with to go to Liverpool. He have seen something that when he there will make him more better. So um, that alone is a very good thing for. It's a very good deal for Liverpool. And I heard some pundits talking about Liverpool overspending. I don't really know what they call overspending. Look at the clubs. Look at Man City. Look at Arsenal. Look at Chelsea. This is a club that haven't spent money in almost like two seasons. The whole of last summer they only brought Chiesa, the Italian. How much they spent on him? Less than 20 million. You know, this is a team that won the Premier League, and they decided to strengthen their team because they got some aging players. The same players are getting tired, so they needed to bring fresh lead, and they seen an opportunity that they said no, we got to take this guy want to come to us, we got to go for him. So Alexander Isak, he finally got his dream move. He gone to the club of his desire that he want to play for. Um, we can't wait to see him. His first game. I think he's going to be a really, really addition to the current Liverpool squad. This guy is already a danger going in attack. He attacking everybody knows. He played on a team that is not built as compared to Liverpool. You know, they got some good players from Newcastle, but as compared to Liverpool, with the playmaker Liverpool guy Mo Salah, this guy in a game, sometimes he decides just to play for the attacker. This is what he's doing. And Alexander Isak being a very good goal getter, he know how to run, he know how to go beyond the defense. I think it's really really going to be firework when he's in the Liverpool attack. So it was a very good deal from the Liverpool standpoint. The money, the people should may look at the money to be huge, but this guy is also huge. Take into consideration what he's going to bring to the team. You know, he's going to bring a whole different different vibe to the Liverpool attack. Liverpool got Mo Salah being the top scorer for them for so many years. This guy is declining. This is why you see most of the game he pass most of the ball, he play most of the ball as going for goal now. It's just a clear indication that Mo Salah becoming a playmaker is because his pace is dropping, his age is adding up. So bringing somebody that will be doing the work that he used to do is a very good deal. It was a fantastic deal from Liverpool. There's no way somebody can doubt it.
Yeah, I think it was a good deal for Liverpool Football Club, and they had to do it because they saw Man City dominate. They competed against Man City so many times. Man City dominated, and now they have the opportunity looking at City. City, the team is done, and they have the opportunity to at least win 2, 3 Premier League titles in row. And that opportunity was there. Issa told Newcastle at the end of last season that he wants to leave. And the spending for me, I get a problem with anybody spending money. If you, Liverpool didn't spend last summer, people should know this. That last summer Liverpool didn't spend any money, and Liverpool they spend like 400 they spent like 483 million euro this transfer window, but they also got 219 million euro from sale. So in actuality, that net spend is just around 260 some more million euro. And if you look at what Arsenal has spent, they on the same level net spend. There's no big difference. So this is why you should look at how much the club got back from sale. Liverpool got enough money. They bought Issa, which is 130 million pounds, equivalent to 144 million euro. And they are still more than the money they bought Issa for. So what do you expect? They didn't spend money. Okay. If you spend, your net spend is 260 some million euro for the past 2 seasons. That is not a big deal. Arsenal net spend for the past 2 seasons is more than that, and they have won absolutely nothing. So Liverpool, they won the Premier League. They have that right to spend. They win and they want to win again. So it's a good deal of business for them. And now they are the clear favorite to win the Premier League, in my opinion, because Isak is one of the best strikers in world football. So Arsenal, I thought Arsenal was going to go for Isak because he can suit them. But they went for Gyökeres, the other guy that knows how to score against smaller team. And so before we go, what's your parting comment?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for being. Thanks you for bringing the show today. It's a pleasure being here. We want to say thanks to our listener, follower. It was a good show. We're looking forward to the next edition. Um, to the fan up there, if you haven't yet subscribed, you can go to the YouTube channel, keep following, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and keep doing what we do best. So bring out informative information about the game of soccer. Thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week.
All right, thank you very much for coming. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, let me just remind you, if you are not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to the Football Heritage. The link is always in the description. The link is there. Subscribe and share. So we'll be back here on Friday to bring you the preview for the weekend. We don't have any Premier League or La Liga this weekend, but we have international football. A lot of countries will be playing in a World Cup qualifier. So we'll bring you the preview of those important games for the weekend. Particularly, we will be looking at the African teams that are playing in the World Cup qualifier. So please do subscribe, and you guys can have a pleasant night, or you can have a good morning, or you can have a good evening. So peace. I'm all of you. Thank you for listening.